you're preventing yourself from growing. So how can we approach growth? What is it that we can do? What types of attitudes do we need to have towards growth to be able to move forward? And I'm going to start with what I think is the absolute biggest piece of this whole thing, because it is where most people fall short. You got to be willing to be honest with yourself. And while on the surface that sounds easy, it's truly not. You must quit lying to yourself. And I promise you, there are some areas that you're lying to yourself about. Oh, I'm good enough here. I'm good enough there. That's not really a problem over there. That's not really an issue. They're lies. And the only way that you can grow, the only way that you can move forward is for you to be honest where you're coming up short. Because it takes a certain level of awareness. It takes a certain level of humility. It takes a certain level of fortitude to then not only admit it, but then to take steps to address it. And it can be a bit scary, but if you find that you've reached a spot where your business is stuck and it's not growing, is there something that you're doing or not doing? Is there a new skill set that you need to acquire? Is there a bad habit you need to get rid of? Are there things that you're doing that you know you shouldn't be doing and yet you keep doing them? You got to be honest with yourself, guys. I was talking with a potential client, somebody, we'll call him a prospect at this point, somebody that had inquired about our student generation services at Cascade Conversion. And I was on the phone with this guy. And one of my processes as I'm trying to evaluate whether or not a brand is a good fit for what we do is I like to test the awareness of the individual I'm speaking to, of the owner. And I ask questions about, talk to me about your numbers, right? Talk to me about how many students you have. Talk to me about how many students you'd like to have. Now, tell me why you think that's not happening. Do they know what's really going on in their business? Do they really know what's holding them back? Because if they don't, it doesn't matter how many new students I drive to them, they're not going to stay. And so I was talking with this guy and I was asking him these types of questions. So I said, hey, talk to me about why you decided to have this meeting today. And he was like, I don't know. I was like, okay. Well, you contacted me to set this up. Like, why did you do that? Like, are you looking for something? Are you looking to accomplish something? I don't know. You're the one I'm talking to. You talk to me. Okay. All right. Let's go about this a little bit different. Tell me about how many students you have. We have about 300. Okay, great. And what's your capacity? Probably about 500. What's getting in your way? What's preventing you from being at 500? I don't know. That's why I'm talking to you. Okay. So is there nothing getting in your way? Is it just time? And he interrupted me and he said, you know what? Like, why are you asking me all these questions? Like, why don't you just tell me what you do and give me your pitch? And I sat back and I said, you know what? We're probably not a good fit for each other. And I actually disconnected and moved the other direction because this individual wasn't willing to have an honest conversation about what's actually going on in their business. And unless you're willing to have that honest conversation, that real conversation, it doesn't have to be with me. Have it with yourself. Have it with your spouse. Have it with your right-hand person, your management team. You need to know what's holding you back.